Hello, everybody. It's Big Al with some more content for Lord of the Rings Rise to War. So, I want to apologize that it's been a few days. I had a friend in town and then wasn't really feeling that well the last couple days. But on this video, I am going to talk about Elrond. I have had a couple of requests to do a commander guide on Elrond, so here we go. This is a little bit out of my normal because I don't really use troop buff commanders. I prefer the regular tank and then damage dealer. I'm not really much for a troop commander. But a lot of people do like Elrond, and he has his uses if you like troop buffs. So as you can see, he's an elf, and he starts with 156 command, which is decent command to start with. A lot of the mythic commanders have a little bit higher command. And as always, and I've said this on a few videos, it's very important to know what command does. And command has to do with your damage received, your damage dealt, and on certain commanders, the healing granted. So let's go take a look at his skills. So again, he is a truth buff commander. So I am going to talk about the order that I would use. So first is his R4 skill, and it's Vilya's Ring Bearer. And when it's maxed out, it gives the Elrond formation and one allied formation unit 70% chance to do dual blows, so hit twice. But another good thing is when it's maxed out, it gains initiative in the first round. So it's always nice to be able to hit and weaken your opponent before they get to attack you. Then I go with Half Elven, which this is a skill that is on quite a few different commanders, and it is the attack of men or elf units in the commander's formation gets plus 30, and they also get their defense plus 30, and that can modify by command stat. As you level up, you get stats for your unit attack and unit defense. So I would go with the Ring Bearer first, Half Elven second, then third is this Elf Lord. And what this does is attacks inflicted by the commander's formation unit reduce the target's defense by 15 for one round. And then as you level it up, it does the same thing for attack and then focus at level 10. So this can come in handy. It's always nice to get their stats down so that you do deal more damage. And then the last stat, the Lord of Imladris. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. But anyways, this is the commander's formation and one allied formation unit ignore the enemy's defense up to 10%. And then that can modify by command stat, and it gives unit attack when it's maxed out. So I would do the R4 skill first, Half Elven second, Elf Lord third, and then if you have them high enough respect, you would get points to put in that fourth tree. Now with gear, I am going to go to the Matham chest to look through there for the items. Reason being, again, I don't use the troop buff commanders, so I don't have a lot of the gear for them. And for those that didn't know this, if you go in here, if you click on the chest, it will show you what items are in the chest. And then you can click items and the commanders and it will tell you. And it gives a list of everything that's in the chest. So, just because it's the way it's done, we are going to start with the gold weapons. The best one for Elrond would be the gigantic hammer. It gives the most unit attack at 16, and it gives a lot of command. Next would be the Elven White Knife. It gives a little bit less attack, a little bit less command, but it does give you a little bit more unit defense. Some people like to make them a little bit of a hybrid where they're running some unit defense and some unit attack with command. So if you're doing that, the Reckoning would be the best unit defense piece with command for gold. we will go down to the purple. And you pretty much have two choices here. First, you got the Urukai broadsword that gives you command, and it does give you some unit attack. Same thing with the Mirkwood bow, and this would be the best in slot purple item for Elrond with the unit attack. So now we will go to the armor. Okay, with the armor, there's a couple different ones that you can use. Best in slot for him would be the Ranger Shroud. That gives the most unit attack. And with armor, you're only ever going to get commander hit points, HP, for their ability. So first would be the Ranger Shroud. Then there's a couple that you could use. You have the Tracker Plate that has 9 unit attack and has some other skills. The Initiative is always nice. You have the Massive Breastplate, which is probably farther down on the list. And then you also have the Explorer's outfit that I want to say is probably the third best for him because it gives the initiative, it gives unit attack and unit defense. Now with purple armor, okay, the Goblin armor is the one that gives the most unit attack. If you want to go for the unit defense part, you would go with the Superior Hawbuck. So let's see. Now we're going to go to accessories. And there's a couple different ones that you can choose from. Okay. Orthodox Devilry is one that I actually really like. It gives 8 unit attack, excuse me, and some unit defense with the command that you need. You know, you have a couple others. You have the Reigns that does the same thing, gives initiative, unit attack, defense, and command. The Night Star gives unit attack and command. And then if you're going to go for defense, it would be the Silver Harp of Rivendell. So, excuse me, let me get a drink. So for the purple accessories, best in slot for Elrond would be the Wizard's Firework because it gives the most unit attack and it gives command. Another one that you could use would be the Athelion. It has unit attack, but it's giving hit points, not command like you want. So now we're going to go to helmets. So hands down, you got the War Helm that gives you 60 command plus 14 unit attack. You have the Hunter's Guide. The Hunter's Guide is the best in slot for Elrond with the most unit attack of 16 and command. So you'd be looking at the Hunter's Guide or the War Helm. And the War Helm second. If you want to do a defense, you would have the Cask of the Submerged Isle that gives the command and the unit defense. I am a little bit more conservative, so if I were to build troop buff commander like Elrond, I would probably have 3 items with the unit attack, and then I would have 1 that has the command and unit defense just to help my troops out because they are my main source of damage. So I also want them to live. As far as the helmets go, you have the Arnor cast that gives unit attack and command, and the best in slot would be the Trapper's Hood that gives the 6 unit attack and 35 command. So I hope that kind of explains how to use Elrond with him being the troop buff commander, what kind of gear you're looking for him. Another thing I wanted to say is a lot of people will pair him with, like, say, Gil, because Gil buffs elf units. Elrond buffs man or elf units. So they kind of can go together. So hope that answered some questions about Elrond. If you use him, good luck, and I hope my guide helps somewhat. So as always, make the most out of what you got.